Hey guys, welcome back. This is your host Phil from underKG.com, and this is Samsung Galaxy M30. So far only launched in India. This is more of an upscale version of the Galaxy M20 that we already dealt with. So that had the Infinity V display. It's got AMOLED Infinity U display instead of the PLS TFT panel. And it's got triple camera aside from the dual camera. Aside from that, it's pretty similar on the inside. It does have the same Exynos 7904 octa-core processor, 4 GB of RAM with 64 GB of storage, or 6 GB of RAM with 128 GB of storage, both expandable through the micro SD card slot. Inside the packaging is a little packet with the usual goodies like the quick start guide and the warranty card. There is a charger, surprisingly enough, fast charging supported, so it gets the output of 9 volts 1.67A or 5 volts 2A. And there's a little USB-C cable and the SIM tray eject pin, and that's all you get in the packaging. Now the phone comes in two different colors. There's a black one and there's the gradient blue one. Even though I got into the right moment of the flash sale, I missed the black one, so I ended up with the blue one. Not only that I'm not a fan of the gradient finish on the plastic, but the glossy coating on top of it isn't really nicely done. I expected more of a flush, evenly coated finish, but this is nowhere near that. But considering the price point, which starts at $220 US, I guess I could deal with this. Alright, powering the phone on, we can see the 6.4 inches of Super AMOLED Full HD Plus display. What you see on top on that Infinity U notch display is the 16 megapixels of front-facing camera. There's a receiver on top, and on the right-hand side, power key, volume rocker. On the left-hand side is a SIM card tray that can host 2 of the SIM cards, or the micro SD card instead, and the secondary microphone for noise cancellation, and USB-C port on the bottom that supports fast charging. 15 watts tops, not spectacular, but you know, better than nothing. And the 3.5mm headphone jack, microphone, and speaker grill. On the back, you have 3 cameras, not 2 like the Galaxy M20. It adds the depth sensor for live focus, on top of f1.9, 13 megapixels of normal angle camera, and 5 megapixels of 123 degrees of wide angle camera. A very welcomed upgrade from the M20 is the always on display and double tap to wake, so you can double tap on the screen to wake the phone up. The interface is virtually the same. It runs Android 8.1 Oreo with Samsung Experience 9.5. The icons are a little fancier than that of the usual Samsung Experience devices, but not the same with the latest One UI. And if you look closely on the screen, you can see that the bezels are thinner than those of the Galaxy M20 or the M10, although you do get some on the bottom. The apps are not that much different. There are built-in Samsung apps like voice recorder, email, My Files, Internet, and Google apps, and there's the FM radio. You plug your headphone in and you can listen to the radio for free. And there are some local apps that can be uninstalled. Going into settings, there are a number of interesting options that you can choose from. The screen mode lets you have adaptive AMOLED Cinema, AMOLED Photo Basic, or full screen color balance from cold to warm or advanced, so you can manually adjust from R, G, and B. There's the full screen apps option, so you can decide which apps are gonna go all the way up to the notch, or decide to hide the notch part, although I don't believe that this is the most beautiful option available. If you don't like the navigation bar, you can customize that as well. You can change the button order or use the full screen gestures instead, so you can hide that and swipe from those bottom bars to call on the navigation gestures instead. And since it's got a fingerprint sensor mounted on the back, it also has fingerprint sensor gestures. So you can swipe on that fingerprint sensor to bring down the notification bar. The camera app isn't all that different from the usual Galaxy. There's a normal angle and you can switch to the wide angle, 123 degrees of wide angle, and after you take a photo, there's an option to go ahead and correct the shape. It's a wide angle camera, so there's a little bit of distortion, and you can fix that through the option. And of course there is the live focus, beauty mode, and pro. Although that one doesn't really allow you much. There's a white balance option, ISO, and exposure. That's it, no shutter speed. And that was the unboxing and quick look on the Galaxy M30. This is Samsung's budget phone, a mid-range budget phone, and it looks pretty nice. I would have loved it a whole lot better if the rear was just matte finish or if the coating was applied evenly. But even with those little flaws, the screen looks pretty good. Exynos 7904 is a pretty nice chipset, and it does offer you some pretty generous amount of RAM and storage combination. And most importantly, who can say no no to the 5,000 milliamps of beefy battery built inside. Anyway, I'll go ahead and spend some time with it, get back with the review very soon. If you have any question in the meanwhile, please leave them down on the comments. You can always meet us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and we'll see you guys later. Ciao.